it will be a lot of like information for you, and you need to have a mindset. It's just like all about the past. So you need to have the context. You need to know at least for the history, so you can understand why you guys will go for this like for this status. I mean, like for us in Taiwan, and also why every city we will have this kind of strategy. So this is all like the background and also information for you to have the input, because I know it's pretty hard if only you to read the annual report, and sometimes maybe you also don't know what's the main point for that report. So for these sessions, I will quickly brief the part I think is pretty important and also will influence your MC planning. Okay, then uh, before everything start, I want to share my opinions for the entity milestone and also the concept for each generation. For me, I think like every generation just be part of the history. And for you, you will be in this organization. Suppose you will have 1 year to be an MCP, or you're gonna apply MCP, you will have 2 years. So for you, this 1 to 2 years is pretty important. But for ISA in Taiwan is too small. You can see for Islington already has like a 60 years history. What happened in 2020 through 24 is not that important. Just like you didn't remember anything related to like the 1999 to 2000s like this. So every generation at the end will be part of a history. So what's our position in this history will be the key question for every generations. Okay, so the questions at the end, I want to make everyone to think about the entity milestone is not really like have a pretty deeper understanding for what happened in the past. Is what do you want to live for us in Taiwan in your generations? And later on, we will go deeper for this part. But first, I want to have like several questions for you all. And I hope that this question is not only me to deliver, it's about like you also share your opinions. So I can know your observations and also your knowledge, then we can go deeper. Okay, so the first question for you, what do you remember for 2023 to 2024 ICE in Taiwan? Like anything.
Roll call.
Resource.
What does that mean?
We have a lot in we have a lot of strategy involving engaging external resource into rising because it's 60-year anniversary. So including government, sponsorships, or even alumni when Christine go and people give us money. So it's resource.
Okay, we started to develop reading.
Yes.
We have 600% growth of OGP.
Don't take it seriously. You know that the fun thing is like in the APOS, right?
Yes.
And AI there deliver like a Asia Pacific achievement.
Yeah.
And say that this is our growth, and for ISIS Taiwan, OGP, yeah, 600% growth.
Yes, and Better is like, woo!
That's why MCB company do that. But the number is like it's like from 1. Like from 0 to 6 or from 1 to 6. Yeah, just actually I don't know. I don't know why 600%. It's not important.
Yeah. Another one is we have alumni donation over 80.
Over what do you
800,000.
800,000?
Yes, 800,000.
Okay.
And also we host a global village with over 220,000 people visited.
So it's about the 6th anniversary. It's happening this year. Anything else? William, go for this question. Oh, you will be pretty hard.
What do I remember? It's pretty rare that you guys, like at least for Australia, we don't usually invite ITGs to conferences.
Okay.
I think it's because Australia is like in the middle of nowhere, so.
Asia
It costs like $1,000 for a return flight, so you have to.
Yes.
Like.
Asia.
Yeah, like it costs like 200,000.
It's okay. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. So we don't usually get like IDGs, and then it's created. You guys have like 20, 30 people from Hong Kong, and then some from Japan, like really. And then we say before.
So you think it's like the conference engagement happening international levels?
Yes, because we've had Australia's had international delegates before, but it's more so like under the area, so they just.
Okay. Cool.
I would say conference holding the capacity.
But how can you evaluate like for the past 5 years? They didn't have the capacity.
Feeling
Right?
based on my muscle.
Okay, thanks for your feedback. Okay. Anything else? Any? Every?
We have an international MC from Poland.
Oh, I mean you mean tuna. Okay. Okay, it's
Well,
really
that
cool.
doesn't
It's not. I'm not international.
It's really cool.
Just from
Yes, international MC. Okay, no. Then we're gonna move on. How about 2022 to 2023?
We bring back
Any?
riot.
Be quiet. Bring your pen.
Oh,
Damn.
Two MCE.
Okay, that's what you remember.
We bring back Judy product.
Okay, we're sorry to do resumption.
Every speak up.
what do you mean?
Okay. The Winter National Conference.
Usually
Has a lot of. No, has a lot
Okay, thank you so much. You remember, I didn't remember. Movie.
Held a forum with over 300 participants.
Okay, cool. What kind of forum?
International conference.
Like the sustainability forum, right?
Yeah. That's summer.
Okay, anything else related to this generation?
MC Light Year.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very hot.
Then we're gonna move to the next one. How about 2021? Say something meaningful.
We don't have MCP, but we have MCP proxy. And we try to merge the product side together and to use the TM and finance side alongside. So we try to do user business and user society proxy.
Mm-hmm. So there are pretty like a huge change management under the context that we don't have MC.
And the annual fee change.
How so?
I forget the formula. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Any?
Membership tag criteria change.
It changed.
Elaborate more.
I remember MCP proxy because every LC has little member, so she changes the criteria to rate LC level.
Mm-hmm. So it's like to make LC to have more rights to on the national decision making rights. Mm-hmm.
QLC 大交大 and
Oh, so.
交大 and
交
大
is
1921.
Hello.
It's 20 to 23.
Okay, 交大 and 早大.
Yes. Anything from William, Avery? No?
That's a good question. So, let's say you want to bring back Delta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, will it be someone from another LC that's for the next year?
Normally speaking, because right now in Tsinghua and PSU, there's membership from NCT. So we will want maybe NCT to go and to rebuild NCT. But it depends on like the member capacity, like whether he or she is willing to do so.
So you mean NCT resumption, right? LC resumption.
Yeah, I'll see something.
If you want to go for this direction, I think that will be the topics in the play. Like what's the step and what kind of people you want to engage.
Depends on the timeline.
Oh, online Winter National Conference, right? Oh yeah, and online Summer National Conference. Yeah. Oh, did you participate? I participated the winter one. I participated summer and winter, and my ass hurt. Like,
I remember 21, 22 hour summer.
Only summer.
No,
That's 2022.
no.
That's why that's when I'm leaving.
Yeah, 21, 22 summer is. No, it's no.
No.
It's online.
New summer?
21, 22 summer is
2022.
2022. It's physical.
It's physical. I'm the forum
2021
OCP.
one is
Yes.
online.
Yes. So anything else related to 21 1? To 22?
Online physical.
Oh, we had that meeting with DOA about how to do product development.
Okay, so it's like LCP team has a meeting with MC team with BOA to discuss about the product development. Okay, so that's for this generation. How about we go
How
further?
much that's for rent?
2020 to 2021. I think so. I know like maybe some of you haven't joined Isaac, but the thing is you need to know the the important progress for these 5 years, so you can understand the context and also history.
June.
MCP.
Generation.
Okay.
Also the marketing director.
Okay.
The FC marketing director
Quit.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's
Forced to resign.
Inside.
Well,
Because-
it's a long story.
okay. Anything else for this generation?
Roanne did that like a forum with business.
Okay, so at that time we have an online forum and engage a lot of like a
15.
a lot of speakers.
Yeah.
Yes, and the forum is like 3 or how many days? Yes. Okay. Anything else? Okay, Star can see your like a level for the understanding.
Let me think. Break.
And you already sort of fed up.
I remember you for society and CBT because as I remember,
Agenda.
Jerry,
Okay.
I talked to him once online.
Okay. Good luck.
What do you think? I remember.
Ubi.
FJU win the best external relationship award.
Okay. I'm not sure that, but if you remember, then that's good.
That's when actually you started up longer. For 3 years.
No, we have longer for 4 years since.
Okay, longer is pretty fine. Right now we're ended the milestone. Anything else for this generation?
Online
to use for society.
Okay, that's a good point. We started to have transform our GV product into like email product. That's good for society and used to business because of COVID-19. Okay, then we're gonna go for the previous generation. Wait.
I think you skipped it.
No.
No.
How about 2019 to
Tony's generation.
yes,
Only
2019.
ICT.
More?
I don't know the data.
I think there's a.
Then maybe there's no growth like you.
1920 has the lowest. Yeah.
Lowest?
Yeah.
Maybe 23, 24 is the lowest.
Was the international conference this school?
Yes.
I was the chair was the Australian MCT.
Oh yes.
Maggie Chen.
Why? I remember it's at Germany.
For the 2020 international conference in Germany.
Maybe it was the previous generation.
Okay, anything else for this generation? Anything you remember? COVID star. Anything else?
Teacher, she's cheating.
You speak survey.
You speak survey.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Huge milestone.
Yes.
How about every?
Every speak up.
You're that generation.
Don't call yourself every.
You're in that generation.
You're a member of that generation.
I'm in that.
Every 5 seconds. 5,
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm
4,
in 2021.
3.
They forced to stop the exchange product because of the COVID term. Yeah.
Because of
Because
COVID.
of COVID.
Okay, that's what we go through. How about 2018?
MC director from 2016 MC. Pearl was MC marketing director.
Oh, her.
Oh.
Her. Okay. Anything else?
And MCT.
1890 MCP is Jarvis. Jarvis.
Girl told me that she's Singapore.
No. She got invited. Her is 14, 15. She got invited again in this generation to be.
They have KPI summit.
That is because they're usually
Oh, yeah.
original marketing
Wait, anything else?
Nothing. From my
Nothing.
side. Jarvis and another guy who run for MCP.
Jarvis and another guy run for MCP.
Jarvis run. No, nothing. That is happened in 1920. Another guy and Jude run for MCP, and another guy.
It's Eric.
Yes, Eric and Eric lose. It's not. Yeah, it's in 1920.
But we talk about 1895.
It's okay.
No, okay.
No one can say
Focus.
anything.
No.
But no one
Anything
can say
else?
anything
No?
else.
No?
Is
No?
is 1830 has the highest like
I think
GB
that their performance
Yeah.
productivity, and then in 1920 it
Mhm.
there's four system.
years because 1920 only have half a year to do
Mhm.
the
Exchange. So later on, we will also elaborate from 28 to 23, 24 generation to make you have like to make you remember the key point about this generation, and that will also influence your planning. So we're gonna go for the next. I don't want to go through like a pretty far until like a 2000 2001 something. Yes, but I want to ask like, so what do you remember from
IC.
international Congress, big IC, and also
Not big IC.
No, whole IC.
Oh, I see. Anything else?
I knew. I knew.
Okay. So I think it's pretty like obvious if you really did something big for ISA in Taiwan that you are already like 2024 generations, but you still remember them because they really did contribute to ISA in Taiwan. But I'm not like you need to do IC in the next generation or in your generation. So I just mean like so that will be how people remember these MC generations. Like what's a huge performance or the achievement or the contribution to this entity. So we're gonna, but it's pretty fine if people don't remember your like generations because we all know like I think Taiwan just like layer by layer. So it's fine. You didn't did something big, but you need to be there and do something. But it's about your planning. We won't talk about this here. Okay, so for this space, we will also to make you have more discussions about. So how about 24, 25? Like, what do you want to live for ICE in Taiwan? And you hope that for 5 years after, like when people look back, their generations, what kinds of things they already remember, and they will also like like in kind of space, they will also pop up this thing. Okay, so that will be the things we will go through later on. So later on, we will have the space for you to get to know about entity milestone from my side, and we will have 24, 25 generation discussion. Cool? Okay, then before that, we're gonna have again, and I prepared again later on. It's a pretty old game. We have Kahoot here. Yes. And it's about the specific, like a pretty huge project and happen in which MC generation. And I just have that questions in every wait. Where's the wait, I gotta open here, but is it this small?
It's like it's a vertical finish mistake.
Okay.
Too slow. Save the video.
我要怎么开 Messenger？
So you better save it.
Oh,
Then
oh,
just
sorry.
pass it.
It's on your Messenger.
Don't save it. I already edited one. Don't send me any video. I don't want to edit one.
哎，你要打起精神了。
你欣赏吗？
Yes, sorry.
看起来超级那个
You look very
演的。
rough.
That's so sad. That's horrible.
I just got that one. Ah, they are husky daddy. Wow. I'm sorry.
就像 a question. It's a hint for you what to do current now.
I haven't read it.
Good, then I can do some reading. But you don't need, there's no internet. There's no internet. Yes.
Internet is so slow.
Like how it's so slow.
Yes, how is so slow?
What the fuck?
Oh shit. Does anyone have lightning?
Phone charger?
那我
没
选
电所以
password。
跑比较慢。不是，是这里网络太烂。
Password。
你是想说我电脑？可是你有转接头
Is
吗
it possible
Excuse
to
me.
It's the office, right? I feel tired. Let me discuss this later.
We're waiting for Kahoot.
Oh, okay.
In the meantime, you can have a sneak peek on any report.
Okay. 那你可以加那个，加那个 Google Meet。哎，出来了。那个不是这个，是另外一个。哦，那我刚跑那么久，知道。
Oh, my laptop is
No.
Oh. I can see all the questions.
Why?
I can see all the questions.
That's serious, no?
No, I can see.
Okay, 对啊。
I don't.
Because that is selection the main group. You are the
That when you guys build up a book about
I saw the algorithm.
算了，用你的，我累了。
Excuse me.
Yes.
Do we have the output yesterday?
Huh?
Do we? When can we get the output yesterday?
if you guys all finished the evaluation for?
Who hasn't finished the evaluation?
I finished.
Hanson.
The people here.
Hanson.
Juna 有时候也有人，
I foresee it.
没有的都有给。
I decide.
But you have another session 啊？
Finish.
这会太小。
That's weird.
I think it's a bit small.
You can just 的设置，那你要改，你按了3个点，3个点，然后呢改变设置，change layout，
我靠，
再点，然后按 spotlight。
Why？
这也比较好。
为什么
Can you see that?
I think
放
you
大
need to
放
make
大
your
放大
own window
放
bigger.
大，不是 F11，然后 F11，对，
Already full screen.
那里有放大音。
是他的，不是我的。
啊？什么意思？哦，这样
How about this?
OK。
Oh, is it better?
Or hide the white thing. The window white thing.
不然你点两下，你把你的荧幕 meeting 全荧幕。
你看 FC。
Is it better? Wait, what? 哎呦 ，What's the issue 啦？不是你 present 是另外一个哎。没有，等一下，这样。
And 23 can be for also play.
Yeah. Okay, like this. Is it too small? 到底是怎样？我很暴躁哦。This, if you cannot see that, you just come to the front.
对。
Juna, can you play music or someone just play music?
No, this not music.
I can. Oh, I already opened my music. I can.
Oh,
Shut up. Everyone shut up. Okay, so there will be a couple, and 24 also can play. Yes, but Susan already played yesterday, and for that, later on, we'll have some like the key events and in each generation, and I'm gonna find a winner. Right now we have this cycle here, right? And if you're the winner, if you are the top one, there on your lunch, my treat. Lunch 什么 My treat. Your treat? Yes, my treat.
Okay.
What's expensive?
哦，他请我们吃。
I
I mean the winner won a treat, but for the last, like the final two people, maybe they're on. You can help others to buy the lunch. Like you go to downstairs. Yes. So that will be like a whole thing. Okay. Everything ready? Everyone ready?
Wait till the music.
I don't know. This is too
你没有在卡布吗？
No. Do we have
Okay. 我的。你找考护员。Okay, so we're gonna start off.
等一下，喂。Wait, I'm helping this one.
Never mind. Is that you? Gosh.
And I work.
That's right off. I know what all this means.
Forgetting.
When you're answering the annual report, integrity. Already give us time that's now. Every now. Okay.
That's very fine.
Everyone join, right?
Yes. Start. Go. 来，让我。好，让我。
What the fuck?
走。不要这么燥了。
哦，来了。Wait, you 快点，我知道答案。
Oh, it's so quick.
That is so quick. Time's up.
Yeah. 在一起。That's it.
Thank you for giving us time to do it.
Oh no.
Connection lost. What the fuck? No, I need to record my answer. No.
But it's about the speech.
Shut up.
So, what's up?
Yo.
Huh?
Yes.
你不是没有考虑。
I lost 2 questions. Later, please give me additional.
Okay.
I'm wrong.
What?
Oh.
It's 3:45.
Oh, yes.
最后一题了。Last question.
Wonderful. Top 3. With 2 questions. Oh.
Maybe you're gonna go by the.
I need to look it up.
Huh?
Oh, wait.
Hell yeah.
I'm not on the podium. Damn.
Yeah.
Let's still have 4 players. I need to have additional points.
Who is never mind?
Who's the last?
Who is the last?
Avery,
You can-
me, and you stop sharing.
Oh, no, the last.
Start sharing?
That's me.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
How do you share?
Who's second?
No one care about the second. Like my teacher said, like, oh, who's the first one who get on the moon? Armstrong? Amsterdam.
Wait.
You're Amsterdam.
Nothing is better than
Who was MC TKO?
that guy.
Oh my god. What's the third one?
second person, we had a cool nickname called Buzz. Third one.
Okay, wait, we're gonna start.
Ah, cool.
We're gonna keep on going. So, it's a quick like a warm up for you to know the milestone, like which big event like happened in which generations. So later on, we're gonna go deeper for like the the milestones like in my from my side. Like I think it's pretty important for IC Taiwan in these 5 years. But before that, I want to know your like understanding or your opinions for the organization development because milestone is kind of like development, right? Like progress. Yes. So when it comes to like we need to make this organization like to go forward or we're gonna develop this organization, first we need to have the organization vision, right? Like and at the end what kind of things that we want or we want to see, and also what kind of things we want to contribute. Okay, but how about the next things? Like what else still missing for the whole entity development?
MOS.
NOS, okay, it's kind of like to measure
Focus area.
focus area can be.
Strategy.
But for me, I would say that focus area is not that important to be
Culture.
honest, because for me it's like consolidate different part into like a focus area. So you want to tell people like you focus in this, but for me it's not necessary. If you
Milestone.
really understand it. Milestone is kind of anything else. Before milestone, what else?
The culture. The culture. Is that important?
Yes, that was part of, but I didn't include that here.
I know. Then
KPI.
Stan.
KPI.
MC name.
Why is this important?
Okay.
Yeah.
KPI.
Before milestone, right?
Goal.
You said before milestone. There's still
Milestone.
one thing
Some things
missing. Oh,
missing.
the roadmap
Roadmap. Oh, can be roadmap.
can be but not.
Uh, it's like for Isaac because our term is like one year. So I would say that for roadmap is kind of concept that you need to have. But if you want to implement this in entity, I would think it's a bit hard.
Okay.
You think that every generation want to do the things that you think is pretty important, right?
Yes.
Yes. So if you don't have a roadmap, it means like somehow you need to follow the previous generation. You need to think that their direction is pretty correct, so you won't follow them. But I would say that is not that fit, like the how MCing works. Anything else in your mind? Something is pretty important you're missing.
Milestone.
Project. Okay. Anything else?
Focus.
Vessels is a tool.
Portfolio.
Strategy.
Person.
Strategy.
MC team.
Strategy. Okay, so for my side, I would say that first we need to have the vision, but for the next, it's like okay, so what's our plan? How can we achieve that? So the next, I would say that if that's Isaac, we will have the mission for every generation. Like every year, it's like what's our mission to make this entity to be closer to our entity vision. So that will be the part for every MC generations, and the next will be strategy. I would say that it's not necessary for focus area if your strategy is pretty clear. Like if your mission, like you can have the strategies, like you want to combine the external resources, or you can write down, okay, we're gonna focus on brand exposure, but you still don't have the strategy, then that is pretty useless. So I would say that that's why, for me, strategy is more important than your focus area if you want to implement something. Okay, so after the strategy will be a lot of projects. So for this whole process, from my side, I would say that it's the entity development. Like when you are trying to deliver like what kind of things that you are doing for entity development, then firstly you need to tell them your mission. And if you want to be pretty specific and concrete, you can tell them your MOS, your numbers. But the huge like the main thing is like, so what's your mission? What's your strategy? So what kinds of project that you are asking right now? Okay, then for me, I have two concepts I want to share for the whole entity milestone in this session. The first one is like every strategy needs at least like 3 years to be like downscale into the LC. And I want to know like, is there anyone who guess like why 3 years?
I remember Linus, he was telling me you only see like your legacy is defined by the state of your LC or the state of your entity after 3 years?
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty key point. Any opinions about this? Any other thoughts?
First year you plant seed, second year you water, third year you forage.
Avatar.
A pretty good 比喻, okay.
Metaphor.
But any reason about why?
Because nothing will pass free.
你在说事不过三吗？
对。
Oh
wow.
Because if you implement changes and you implement changes in your term and they're still there after 3 years, then it means that it's something that's good for entity.
It can be like this. Like the right directions will, like people will keep going for this direction.
If we have to name one event, it will be IC. I think we tried to fit it for 3 years, and in the third year we success.
But you need to consider we failed for the previous twice.
Yeah, and that's why 3 years is the milestone time.
Third time's the charm.
Yes, there's times the chance. Right, if you want to manage.
I would say that it's a special case.
It's that
Special case.
So if we bid for APS for the third time, we will get it.
Okay. Really positive. Anything else from every and any or two?
I'm thinking about how to like say it.
Is your nose okay?
Or you think that it's not
No.
necessary to be 3 years?
Sorry, can you say that again?
I mean, like you can share your opinions, like why you think it's 3 years, or you think it's not necessary to be 3 years. It can be 2 years, or need to be 5 years.
3 years.
Any ideas?
No.
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 Avery, it's been half an hour speaking.
Wait, no.
Every
like,
5 seconds.
like it will not be just like as fast as the LC strategy and the you know the results, because it will influence, like we need to see the bigger picture, like how this project and the results affect the outcome, like in the aspects of talents or the financial side, or like how does it influence how the LC works for the time after the strategy.
So both William and also Eric mentioned about LC execution. Any the final one?
Beyond 3 years. Because I think if you want to implement a strategy, and you need lots of different elements, like you need a culture, you need like people who has the same value as you, and also you need a system, you need operations. So if you want to build the whole thing, it needs 3 years to complete.
Okay, so it's about like your strategy take times. Okay, so it's like because you will think that for strategy there are lots of things you need to set to make your strategy can work. So that's a process time. You think maybe it will be like 3 years or more than 3 years. So from my perspective, I would think that MC team always need to remember, no matter what kind of strategy that you have, or you think that the strategy will successful, like bring IC point to higher level, no matter what kinds of strategy you have, the execution side is LC.
Yes.
So how can we make the LC can really implement the strategy and go for these directions will be the key if MC team can success in or not. So you can imagine the first generation MC, we have a strategy downscale to the LC. The part that you're influence is the LCP at that time, LC team leader, LC member. After 3 years, when that LC member to become the LCVP or LCP, that already go through 3 years about why that person will already have a context, have a knowledge, have a skill, and also somehow have the resource because their LC already implement this strategy for 3 years. So they can have like some partnership or something like this. At that time, their LC can go like pretty fast compared to the previous generation. And maybe in the third year, your strategy can really works and also bring the result for IC Taiwan. So I would say that the entity strategy will influence like the whole things and also maybe can work after 3 years. So that's a thing. So later on, we will also not only tell you like, okay, this is 2021's milestone and this is 23-24. It's not work like that. It's like you need to see the whole history and why every generation will have this kind of result. And how about like a previous 3 years? What happened at the time? So after 3 years, this MC team, this generation can go this far. Okay, so that will be the concept for you. And for the milestone position will be like this, like after the project. That is for me it's a pretty like a final stage. So the next questions will be, so what does milestone mean? If you have this structure, we all say that, oh, we need to have the milestone and that's our milestone, but what does milestone mean?
Milestone are the achievement that can define a success of a project.
Yes, is a good definition. Anything else? The progress. And from Radiant,
Just echoing what Annie says, like accountable and like identifiable from what people did it.
Okay. So for milestone, for me, it will be like represent of important progress. So to be honest, if you have the numbers can show the achievement, like the level is, I would say that is the best. But if you cannot have the data, is a project complete or it's kind of like a system you 100% built as what you plan. I would say that that's also kind of like a milestone. So it's not necessary to be like a pretty high number and your achievement rate is like 100%. It's like that is important progress. So for example, for ICE in Taiwan, if we want to resume the GT program at the very beginning, the first thing is that we need to pass the legality. What does legality mean? We need to pass the ICBOD so we can have the basic like a foundation to make us run the GT product. So for the whole GT resumption progress, pass ICBOD to get the rights to run for this product is a pretty huge milestone. If we don't have this, then there is no progress for resumption because we don't have a rights to run for it. So that's what milestone mean. So based on these structures, you can notice that some of the MC generations we will mention like this is our generation's milestone. But if you think that if you the whole entity development like this logic, you will find that if our generation, no matter which MC generation, if our organization go for these directions, then for sure we will have different milestones in different MC generations. So for GV resumption, we start from 2021, as we mentioned, like for the legality basis, um, until 23-24, we already execute this strategy for 3 years, which means that every years for this direction, every years we have different milestones and different progress for our resumption directions. But this is not like what I said works because we have like every year we change our MCEB team. So you can also see like, so that's the reason why we will have a roadmap because that's for entity development. But if every generation can follow that, that's another topic. So I would say that it's pretty important, but maybe I say it's not that suitable for this kind of way. But if you go outside and like in the company or in some organization, I would think that roadmap is pretty important. Yes. So that's the whole thing for the first concept is the MC strategy takes time and need to edit 3 years. And the second will be the milestone represent the important progress. So later on, the milestone you will see you maybe you will think that oh this is an entity milestone. Is it too small or something like this? But no, just like it's a important progress. It's a huge progress. If we don't have this process, then we won't go for this direction anymore. Okay, so quick recap for the key concept for you before you have the discussion in your team.
Okay.
Okay, so the last we're gonna go deeper for what exactly happened in different generations. So I'm gonna give you 50 minutes to read the annual report, and it's not necessary to read the part in your function part. Just like for the previous like the page for like the MC team milestone, MC team direction like this. Cool. So don't need to see the function part. Just see the whole team, MC team. And you can have 15 minutes and you can have a discussion or you want to do individual work, it's pretty fine. But later on, we will ask you about like, so what's your observation for different generations? And what's your idea for the milestone? Okay, and I would say that is a bit rude, but for the annual report, I would say that every generations will list down their milestone, right? But it's not every milestone really important. So you just see about the history, like what's the most important things and what kinds of directions that we have in recent years. Cool? Okay. And we're gonna have 50 minutes.
Study annual report 20
From 1819 to 2223. Yes. You can have discussion on.
you understand?
Can you understand? Can you understand?
No, I just realized
So-
some parts is interesting.
Wow. It's not this year, or they just invite like this is joke.
possibility of that. The first one is that they just I know that's what you're saying, like the whole description is like different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think maybe it's like a issue. And the second one, I think, is like because Tony is an OD in 18, like in 18, so I think maybe he's pretty agree with this, and we need to go search. Mm-hmm. So I think because for me that's also
For years. Not really first.
for 40
That
years
means opposite.
history in Tokyo.
More years. And then more.
But do you know who stuff?
This probably was in
I guess you're right.
These are the Mhm. And also just like you guys, you can think about it, right? Because MC is not really less life. We will also see like strategy now. So what's the biggest difference? The COVID what meaning? Oh good. To be focused. Pick more. 5 minutes, for the every milestone. Huh? You guys need to pursue the quality. Quality. Okay. It took great hours. What is the output? No, as much as possible. Mm-hmm. I think also, it's quite similar, right? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think they copy, but it's not the perfect. It's 会先退出人跳出去，来出谁？
much producer.
Okay, time's up. Time's up. So we're gonna hear your sharing, guys.
Oh,
Okay, so later on, I will make everyone share because I think for emceeing there is a pretty important attitude and also your behavior is like you don't know this, so you go search, you go find the data, and you try to have your own insights, have your own ideas, and then share it so that you can have more like insightful discussion within your team, no matter to leave your like in your MC itself, or you're gonna leave your commission, or you're gonna talk with BOA. So that's a process for you to learn. So no matter what kinds of information that you get, you just share it because that's how far you can reach so far. But it doesn't mean like you won't have a progress. So later on, when other is sharing, listen to that. What kinds of key points that others will have because you all read the same report, but with that you will have different perspectives, and that's pretty important for your team to communicate and also synergy with each other. So we're gonna start from every. Here we go.
Why?
So the questions will be, what do you think about these 5 years, and what kinds of milestone that you think is pretty important for these 5 years, and also why? Yes, you can go.
Oh, oh, 好那个
And before you can just look at every. That's the basic respect to the person who is sharing.
But honestly, I think 15 minutes for me is kind of short.
Just share that.
Okay.
We understand.
I think from the milestones we can see the development of the organizations and the trends. Like I've seen some years they have mentioned the change in the 年费. You can really annual fee, yeah, so you can really tell like if the LCs are looking good or something, and there's something like the change in the member because the change in the membership models or like the different criteria for measuring the LC's membership, so we can really tell the like the overall trend of the LC's development.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay. I think Everett has a good point, and later on I will elaborate more why we'll have this. But it's really a point, but it is influenced by the environment and also other like product tenant side. So later on we will elaborate this. Who is the next?
Me.
Okay.
Okay, I have three insights. Okay, so the first one is, so from 1819 to 1920, they do the frequent LC visit and see the different continuously, and it has great impact. I don't know where. The second one is in 1819 they start implementing a new membership model, but in 1920 the LC situation is not that good, maybe due to the COVID or something. So in 2021 they start the membership model again, and also in 1920 to 2021 until 2021, 2021, 2022, you can see their product side is quite aligned. It's all around youth and sustainability because it holds youth experience survey for continuously 2 years, and also they have youth career forum or youth sustainability forum continuously 2 years. So it has a great impact on the product side at that time. Yeah. Okay. And
Okay. I think Ruby has some like how to say that 更精准的
More precise.
Perspective than every. I'll just like pretty open to share my perspective because just want to mention like MC strategy will be influenced by the environment, right? Ruby have two keywords like a COVID, and the second word is like to have the sustainability and focus on youth development, like based on our projects. So that will be our main topics later on. Who will be the next? William?
In 1820, there was a greater focus on training the leaders, like focusing on the competencies of people within ISIC themselves. So you see through TTT, train the trainer, and the implementation of the PDP in 1819 generation. But then because of COVID, our focus shifted from, like, we didn't have the privilege to focus on capacity and competency building. We focused on exchange resumption. So that was the main focuses of the later generations. So my insight would potentially the competency of the diplomatic in Taiwan currently is not as good as in 1819 because of the previous generations focusing on competency building and just on laying the foundations of financial sustainability for future generations.
Mm-hmm. Wow, out of my expectation.
Oh.
I mean, like these three people all have like good points. And why I will say this is because you can there are we will discuss as well, like all include in that part. Like what William mentioned is like why 1819 and also 1920 we put a lot of efforts into capacity build up. Like we will have the context. You can think like what kinds of scenario MCT need to put a lot of efforts to train the network, like their competence or their capacity. You can also see 1819, so 1920s performance. That you will maybe you will find some insights. Okay, who's the next? Mm-hmm.
Because I typed down something related to that. If I look at the performance of products in 1819 and the highest compared to the figures close to that year, 16 and 17 is the highest, and then it started to drop until 1819. So it's just drop. Yes, like the numbers compared to now is still high, but I think that might be why in 1819 and then 1920 they have a lot of focus on capacity building because one of their focus is also product optimization. And it also a legacy until now because they had a lot of focus. They had a lot of summits, conference system, and conference holding capacity experience. Um, What's more, I think is also about the you speak for survey collection, which is the foundation for our youth impact survey. When COVID hit,
I see the moment.
I think it's a good foundation because when COVID hit, we had something to work on to collect, to stay relevant to Taiwan society, and I think that's in 2021 a very important milestone is the product shifting thing. Uh, what else? I need to oh uh, consolidate in 1828 from 2018 to 2020, the focus was more on talent capacity build-up and also product optimization. But since COVID hit, the focus kind of changed to how to make Isaac still relevant. So from 2020 to 2023, it changed from youth impact, sustainability to business oriented. And those all affected the way LC do innovation project. I didn't see 22, 22. That's why I left out that.
Okay, so later on we will base on this logic. We go through this category. So I won't elaborate or add on too much. And the next is A. Sure.
I think from 80, 90 to 90, 20, we focus on leadership development and also they focus, our predecessor focus on LC development model a lot. And so I guess it's because our product and our HR is pretty, how can I say that word? It's pretty stable, so they want to build out a system to make it be
In which year?
from 1890 to 1920.
Mm-hmm.
And 2021 to 2021 is kind of like, so the HR is quite stable and the number is quite easy, but we are going to change the direction because of the pandemic. So we're starting to trend and achieve the business model from, I don't know, to the big product model, maybe more society oriented or more business side. They are defining the product and the impact. And then And 21, 22, I think because of the pandemic, become worse, getting worse. So there are, mm, I think they are still positioning themselves. And 22, 23, also resumption. The things about resumption didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to, the pipeline started to go back, and also we started to redesign our product after in the post-pandemic year. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, then you did a great job, like out of my expectation.
Yay!
Honestly. Yeah, give you appreciation. No, fuck you. Yes. So later on, it's my turn to share my perspective for the entity milestone. But I will give you some structures, like why I think this will be the entity milestone and what's the whole like history for all the things. And before that, I will highlight like for me, I will also combine with like a the external environment, like a big environment, and also I say time background back then, like what happened right now. So why MC will have this kind of focus, or what kinds of events that we will have at the time. So that will be my logic when I'm saying this. So when I'm doing the annual report, I will also consider first for this MC generation, what kinds of environment they are in, and what kinds of issues they might face at that time. And another thing I want to share is like when I think how ISIC work, I will think that product is a main thing. Like product is the main thing. Although we want to, our ML content, we want to do talent development, we want to cultivate leaders, but product is almost everything. You can think that for ISIC in Taiwan currently, for the LC status, they don't have a revenue streams because their product didn't work. And talent maybe they cannot retest. It's because they cannot run product pretty well. Or the product, the whole preparation, the whole experience that this product provides didn't fix their expectation. And if LC they don't have the finance, they don't have like the HR, then I think Taiwan will keep revising our foundation. For example, like a membership criteria or annual fee system model or something like this. So for me, everything starts from product. And so later on, I will mainly describe the product, like the whole, like whole flow, and also the whole history back then. So this is the timing that I focus the most, like before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, which one any mention. So you need to know that this is the biggest environment to influence, I think, Taiwan's development, no matter in talent or in product or in finance. So later on, we all know like 18, 19 is before COVID, like totally 100% before COVID. But 19, 20, their turn, like half of their turns, they start to have the COVID. And for these two generations, they are all in COVID. And for these generations, like almost the rest of the turns, they already go out for the COVID, like the whole situation. Mm-hmm. And then for 22, 24, right now we didn't care about that. So you can know like for every generation, they will have their conflict and also the issues they want to avoid. That's why they will influence their focus. So as what you see for 18, 19, they don't have a COVID. So their end goal is like we want to make the performance of our exchange program improve as much as possible. And also, do not just add on, like compared to the previous generation, 18, 19 already like drop for the performance. So there's a reason why they will put a lot of strategies on like a network strategy and also for talents capacity build up. So that's the reason why they have like they want to focus on organization sustainability. So they do a lot of like foundation things. And also they want to build up the talent capacity. That's the most important things. And they want to make exchange performance growth. So at that time it's pretty easy. They want to make focus on this. But for 19 and 20, they want to focus on brand exposure. If you compare it to like 18, 19 and also 19, 20, because at that time they think that for exchange. Maybe brand exposure is a kind of strategy and kind of way to make them grow the exchange. Like every generation who will think that brand exposure is pretty important. So they also do the press conference, something like this. And they also want to make exchange performance grow. Although they are faced some like COVID challenge. And what happened at the time is like MC team they are guessing for COVID they will end earlier or it will keep like lasting for these situations, and they are just try to go for the same directions, like the original directions. It's like they don't think that COVID will influence a lot. So for their rest of turns, they will still want to go for the direction for exchange. So they didn't have any change management for the COVID. hmm And they have the Asia Pacific Conference holdings. And you can note that for APC bidding is almost at the end of their term. So we can know like at the end of 1920, suppose they already faced the COVID, but they still join the bidding. So you can see 1920, their mindset toward COVID-19. So that's the reason why you will see that 1920 for their for the rest of term, they don't have performance for exchange, but they also don't have a range for this. So that's the context for this generation.
Because they thought it was going to be shorter.
Yes. Yes. So they still have a bidding, like almost at the end of their term. Yes, exactly.
The bidding was that for 2020 ATS in April?
No, 2021.
Okay.
Yes. Use me, you want to add on?
Actually, I remember for like 2000, they have some suggestions for LC to combine the function for ICX and also students. Yes. Yes. So in my LC we combine GD together. Their suggestion ICX or OCX or GP and GT. These two perspectives of combining the functions. Yes. So actually they have some way forward for the COVID, but for sure they didn't think that COVID will pass that long.
But for combinations, it's still under like the exchange rate. Yes. If you can, if you want to see what's the solution for the next, I think 2021 will be more obvious. But we don't talk about like a result or the effectiveness for this strategy. We just talk about what happened at the time.
In 1920, there's some innovative I actually like Chuja and also the Yanzi side. All from that generation.
Is that at that time they will still have some like a proposal communications for proposal more projects, but I remember like in 2021 for the next generation they already start LC side already start to remove the part for exchange. So for example like original IGV product EP, maybe they will still host this project, but there is no EP to make it like a local project. So that's the things I want to talk about the next. So for 2021, the new MCD they got on board and they think that we need to have the transformation. So the youth for society and youth to business, these two functions is mainly focused on we want to engage the local youth into our projects and to impact the local youth because we cannot do like a exchange. So at that time, MCT started to think about we need to do the transformation. So these two products we just have these two products. And another thing was that at that time, 2021 MCT started to want to do the investment, like a huge investment for LC to do innovation because they think that okay, it didn't work. We need to make LC have their own project as soon as possible. So they also initiate like, although I don't know the result for that, but I'm the LC. I know that for 2021, MCT also initiate like their generation is Aurora, so they have Aurora Fund for LC to apply to initiate project.
Really?
Because at that time, MC revenue has like, I don't know, 5 billion or 7 million. So they think that they have revenue, so they need to have this revenue can share to LC because LC cannot sustain by their own because there's no exchange product. And also at that time is the hardest time for COVID because we have entity. We cannot go out. So our whole term is all in COVID. So they have overall funds, but I am the LCP at that time. I don't think I get any funds for them because they will have the sensor. And the finance VP at that time, I don't like him.
I don't like him as well.
Who is the finance VP?
I'm also at the time. I'm not sure what's the result.
Who is the finance
I don't think
maybe
some else will get the fund.
MC also have changed management when it comes to management. Instead of function, that is.
Still function based, like we first study function.
Like we have in our else we have the innovative product is online, but I don't remember we get any fund from it.
So the thing is, like at that time, there are lots of like investment, but still pretty hard because you can see like for these two generations, we all run exchange, so people know the SOP. All of our training or our understanding for IC product is all about exchange. But suddenly in this generation, people need to innovation. Like we need to start to plan a new business model. Or we need to plan like okay, so this new product, what's the price or what's the structures, and that requires what kinds of competence. Like we all don't know that. So I would say that for 2021 is a like year to try out, and that's what happened in that year. So after this is 21, 22, and at the time we don't have MCP. But I think the better things compared to 2021 is in 2021 it seems like MC want people to do innovation, but there is not. We don't have. We didn't centralize the direction. Like so, every LC do what they want to do. But for 21, 22, MC started to think about okay, maybe sustainability is a trend and we need to make our local youth, like Taiwanese youth, have more awareness for the sustainability. Because for icing, at least we know SDGs. For some else, they started to try about like CSR, ESG better. And also, 21, 22 want to use like in youth organization where we're doing the sustainability to attract the partnership. So in 21, 22, we all did a lot to have like to train the people to do like a pitching or something like this. We all have like an ER summit for people. It's like a pretty, I would say that at that time maybe the product and also the talent training still started to match. So this is a context for them. So we start to have the, we start to value more about the BD development because for the past years we all focus exchange. I would say that focus the most.
We also have the BB task force.
Yes, and also NCT at that time initiated like a BD task force to make the LCP and also LCP to go for BD directions. Yes, so this is for the whole thing. But for 21, 22, they already start to think about the exchange program resumption. So from this year, I won't say that they already successful and also passed the audit. They didn't pass, and at that time it seems like why they lied to me because for my LCP generation, I'm 2022 LCP, and for my rest of her, like a rest 6 1, I directly opened a position for IG function in my LCP and also OGP. LCSU is the first LC to initiate the exchange function because I'm the last one to know how to run the exchange. And at that time, NCT told me like, yes, you can run.
Yes.
But I already initiated and we started to do that. But NCT like, no, wait, we didn't pass the audit. And so it's like we cannot run. Like, so I'm just like, okay, so this generation MC is already starting to think about that. Although we didn't like 100% first like to go through the COVID. But for 22, 23, we almost like in the period like after the COVID. So I'm sitting also start to do, like at that time, they try to review the whole like youth for society and also youth business portfolio. And they combine each other because they think that the positioning is not that clear. And that's also what LC is focusing on. So we need to put a lot of efforts to managing these products because for the past 2 years there is no really like a specific topics or specific ways to manage this and also to make MC LC have the collaborations and also MC strategy can downscale to LC. That's pretty messy because that's a whole new business model. So for 22, 23, they're not only doing like to consolidate about the EWA program, they already start to think about, so how can we start the resumption for this product? Yes, and there is one thing to add on. For 21, 22, they also started to do the talent training, like a pretty basic knowledge training for exchange to deliver the standards, to deliver the value. So our training starts from 21, 22. But 23, 22, 23 for the rest of 6 months, the MC start to recruit the director for the start point for MC to really put the HR there to resume the GB functions. So for 23, 24, we think that for this year we already have some like a pretty few performance for the exchange, but compared to their LC's EWA program is better, like they still can have the revenue stream now. And it's pretty like a special point for ISA membership to have an exchange program. So 23, 24 we just only go for the direction for exchange program. And also from MC side, we don't have to engage with ISIC, MCVP anymore. And NC also communicate with the LCVP, like we won't directly manage this. And we will make them, our effort will put on, like we want to resolve the GB. And for the further one is we want to resume. So that's how 2024 look like. Like we focus on this, focus on exchange. So this is the whole process for the product development. And I cannot just like elaborate everything in this space, but for you, you can bring this flow and this logic to view the annual report again. Maybe you can find another like the information. So for example, why this 2 year we're gonna do the foundation. And you can think that maybe for these 3 generations, we are pretty busy for product development or to engage the resource. Maybe our foundation, like optimizations or revise will be less than previous generations. So that will be the context.
What do you think is the impact of increasing engagement of international or regional companies?
You mean for this too?
Only the increased engagement of international or regional.
You mean this, the
Yeah.
output?
Why do you think like people in Taiwan want to?
Because of after COVID, because in COVID we cannot go out. And there's no other IC that is APLS. All in online.
I'll say maybe it's about like a profile for the current members. You know, like before the COVID, the international or regional conference, like Taiwan's engagement is not that high.
Yeah, because also I have a question. So in 18, 19, and 1920, there's still no COVID. What is the international engagement?
Actually, there's a lot of people go to IC, I remember in 1920. And a lot of LCP go there, and also all MCT go. Yeah.
1920, yeah, they go IC. And I remember like for APLS, it seems like it's not optional at the time. It's like APLS when you're at the LCP like or MCP, like you will directly go to the APLS.
With subsidy?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It's just like a trend, and people will go.
Yeah.
So this is a required.
And but I would say that compared to 22, 23, if we make it optional, like people is pretty willing to apply.
Also, what happens in 1920 when they did the guests? It's like when you got to host and then they can't host it anymore.
Yes. It's just like directly cancellations. Yes. Then we're gonna move on. And if you have another topics that you want to discuss, you can also approach me. And another thing is like because 23, 24 wanna do the exchange resumption. That's our directions. So I'll say that in 22, 23 and also 23, 24 at that time influence the LCP mindset is a pretty important. And also like I do a lot to talk about how fun it is. Like regional conference is pretty exciting. Like and also I will bring the context like in 1920. Like when I was LCB by IGV, what's the funny things when running the exchange? So I'll say that why people will start to have an engagement back then because they have the imaginations and they were curious about that things. Okay, then I'm gonna. Wait, Tuna, you wanna add on something? Okay, then we're gonna move on. So, back to the points I just mentioned, like why 3 years strategy is pretty important. Since the EWA product, like COVID-19 outbreak, you can notice that the EWA program started from 2021, like officially started from 2021, and we still have that in 22, 23. And you can see that I think 22, 24 is a bit. You see from history, maybe will be a bit weird because we 100% removed that from MCT. But you can see that still in 22, 23, MC start to try to want to consolidate this product and want to make it more like organized and have the directions. So later on, I will also suggest like maybe in 24, 25, you need to think more for this.
Because 2023, when I onboarded on August and November, we started creating IWA portfolio. And Brian was managing the IWA portfolio, but she didn't. And I didn't have capacity and enough knowledge about IWA because we never ran that.
She just didn't implement the
Then it probably is somewhere, but I didn't follow it up because it wasn't in my focus, and I know Rossi didn't also run much work, so there was no need for fully implementing the portfolio.
I would say that that's a progress. Like for sure, 22, 23, they only have like two people and they want like a pretty different direction. So of course they have a limit capacity. But what I meant, what I want to focus, what I want to highlight is why 22, 24 will 100% focus on exchange is because we, at least me cannot see the result rate for EWA for the whole IC in Taiwan, no matter for the whole IC in Taiwan or for outside or for talent experience. So you need to know the context for that generation so you can better understand. So you can see like even for exchange resumption, we already go 3 years start from the legality basis and also the talent training and also MC started to have the responsible and also LC start to initiate the functions, like all the things that we need to start from like zero. So it takes time and at least 3 years. So that's what I'm saying. So you can see like right now the exchange in 24, 25, if that can really grow fast in your generation, you need to see in 22, 23 or 21, 22 at that time, the training works or not. If that works, the talent can understand. The talent in LC can really understand why we're gonna have a GD and why we need to do that. So they will go for the higher position, and then in your turn start to perform. So that will be the whole logic for the whole things. Okay, so for this session, we already go for these two areas, and we put a lot of time to discuss about the entity milestone because milestone you need to start it by yourself. You are not like a baby in your turn. You're the MC. So you need to do things by yourself, or you go to Syria, go to find your MC. And my explanation for MCPG is you need to be pretty knowledgeable. You need to know why. You need to know the history, or your decision will suck. Really heavy, but this is a responsibility for MCP. Okay, then later on, I will give you around like 8 minutes for you to have a team discussion because we don't have a time. And for you, you can think about it's not necessary to be the pretty specific milestone what you want to have. Firstly, you can think about what's the role for 24, 25. And also, what things that you think you need to go for that directions to based on previous history. Because we all see that for no matter for GB resumption or for UR development, they all take time. And also it will cross different generations. And I don't believe that your strategy won't have the alignment with the previous generations. So make it clear what you align with the previous generation, what you want to initiate a new thing. to make it clear so you can understand what things you need to give to your successor when you're after. Okay, so you can have 8 minutes to discuss in your team. Then we're gonna start. Are you hungry now? Okay. Are you guys hungry?
No.
Every? Then we're gonna start. Remember, this is a group discussion.
Then can we wait till Annie's come back?
Okay. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, boy. Why is not full screen? Shut up.
Yeah.
I want
Shut up.
Because
FC FC 是下一届啊，是下一首。
But they long to have time. They sing have fun.
I'm the low key.
Think first, everyone. You only have 8 minutes. It's not easy for you to discuss this.
What? What?
We can start to discuss now.
Okay.
Exchange performance.
Who wants to be recorder? Has anyone actually been recorder? Okay. You can just type. And then let's see, what role to important generation was playing in Taiwan? I think we can share from everyone's first, the personal wish.
Exchange performance group. Bring back meeting portfolio.
Bring back every
Yes.
exchange.
Oh, I thought like according to the 24 generation will like be like make people aware that Isaac is the leadership development. I think that is also really important. Like define Isaac as leadership development rather than like the product development. I think talent is really important. Like how they think, how they act.
Yeah. Just like team is related to.
I want to start a lot more talent in HR casting.
You want to bring back key.
You mean like channels or like?
Kickstart is relevant. I just want to help them to actually grow within HR. So, for example, I remember yesterday saying if we had five whole AD structure of five, then we would only actually be able to have 2 teams. If there was an average of it's currently an average of 9 people. I don't want that to be I don't want that to be people not being able to right, that's easy to do. I don't want that to be double. I don't want that to be triple. And one of the biggest things that I really set myself on was mention of I work in Taiwan, I know what I'm proxy was so like one thing is just like really improving the number of people in Taiwan as well as
Eliminating.
I think what I want to do first consolidation. Really, I think anyone can do it.
You block me.
Oh.
Yeah. You look like a ghost. Why?
Annie, come on. Share.
6 minutes now.
Annie, share. What is your opinion about one role that Pinnacle can find should be do
Exchange performance 100% completed.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, it's kind of like consolidation work. But for me, the end goal is for more young people to have to have the experience that Isaac can offer. Like it can be exchange, or it can be our leadership.
It's exchange.
Sure. It's ELD, it's anything. Because for me, and the result of that can be like what William said, work organized. Work.
After go to APS, Isaac is exchange. Exchange is Isaac.
The brainwash.
Yes, I totally brainwashed him.
Agree.
It's a brainwash conference.
Yes. And I think for me, what role that I want to play, the first thing is to make our system work out. Like can be experience, can be the development of product. I guess I think that's the most important thing for me.
So what is the role of student advisor? So what's like vegetable?
Organic. Yeah, or, yeah.
No, I think we're
Organic
like a
matter.
rocket. Yeah.
I want to say,
Like a 新创加速器 like a rocket. Accelerator.
celebrate.
Oh, rocket builder.
That's good.
Rocket constructor.
I think celebrate
I want to be
good.
Armstrong.
Okay.
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Okay.
And I want to be Amsterdam.
Okay, accelerator. Okay, next. What things are you thinking about need to keep in place for their isolation based on previous generations?
So that one more thing sort of what's the organizational culture that we have as MC
Culture.
So for example, like the culture you guys said, like the previous MC before you guys, they had a really unhealthy like work-life balance. For example, that was part of the organizational.
Yeah.
If we say work hard, play hard, then what are the actual behaviors we engage in to work hard, play hard?
Go to the
We
next one.
go to gym because we have like a gym membership.
Yes.
Oh, we can swim in the swimming pool.
Actually, I have no idea based on what you guys said. I think based on our MC personality or our personal preference. I think our generation is very similar to Goodnight and the network.
Push them
Push them off the building.
I
Push them
feel
down.
this generation, I want
Not push.
entities that
Not
so
push.
I think you might want to think about why I think I want to do. So I think the strategy milestone we need to keep is the culture. Okay. The culture shaping that's been passed on for I guess at least since 20 I think 21. Oh yeah, 10 to 20. Because from then, from that generation, I think MC has been doing a lot of communication. Social so the relationship has been better now.
One of the things that you think 24, 25 is people think for our generation become previous strategy.
MC to MC.
Relationship management.
How about product? What you said?
GT resumption.
I think one of the other things they were focusing on was
International engagement.
such engagement, but also it's
Oh, we can give funds to people who want to.
about
Every
rebuilding.
you said to Thailand.
What?
Let's see. I know that's me.
Leadership,
Okay.
experience, roadmap, blah 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 something. I cannot come up with consolidate. I just have words.
I can tell.
Really maintaining and strengthening relationship that our strongest side of ours.
Ooh.
I
It's like it's relationship management as well.
Yeah.
Stakeholders.
I would say I would use optimize. So we have calculus, we have a lot. Just to have
attended with IC, they're like, oh, wow.
Yes.
I love you guys.
We need to have a meeting soon. Okay, 30 seconds left. How about Annie? You have idea. What's your level? No idea.
My level is sleeping.
Can you turn it on?
Now
Yeah,
is my shift.
quick. What do you think we should take? We should for the based on the message. You guys can look at the notes.
Okay,
Can you get
kind of.
20 seconds?
No, cannot. We delay. So right now you will have 2 minutes to share. Just who's gonna share? Okay. Come.
So,
Come.
Right. You can stand to sit here.
who's
Go, go.
Let's go.
So, in terms of what role that our generation wants to play in our history, we want to continue building on exchange business growth. I want to make people aware that ISAC is a leadership development platform. I want to eliminate LCP proxies, have a lot more HR capacity. Like kill them. It's like
Eliminate.
the position of LCP proxy shouldn't exist anymore. A lot more HR capacity and net-based message in Taiwan, and to have more young people to be touched by the experience that ISAC can provide to make the system more healthy and to really improve the organizational culture. And in terms of what we want to build on for the previous generations, is improving and maintaining the MC to LCP relationship, stakeholder management with internal and external stakeholders, GT resumption, international engagement, because we haven't had access to physical conferences and that international engagement as much as we had previously, and leadership experience roadmap, continuing to improve that and hold it for our new leaders.
Yeah. Okay. So is that if that's the generation that that's the milestone that you expect, or that's the strategy that you want to implement in the future, then just go for it, and also have a deeper discussion in your planning. That will help a lot for you guys because you already think for this. And I'm gonna do a quick recap for the whole things. So this is the whole things that we just really debrief, like what happened in the past and also what's every generation's focus. So I won't directly tell you what the 24, 25 like focus is supposed to have from my side because I feel like that's your generations. But if I need, if I still need to do something, I will say that I will give you these 3 questions because the first one is that for exchange program that we have right now. So what kinds of products that I think Taiwan still can provide to the youth for developing the global perspective. If that's our unique point compared to other organizations or other choice, then what we can do more on this value. Okay, and the second one is okay, so uh, for the developing global perspective, this area is that for raising up the awareness. Is there any other values that we can provide? Mhm. For example, like pretty good ideas. Maybe to provide the job or the works or the like any positions in the company or like the company's board, like Tony, maybe like 10 years or 20 years after, it will be a pretty stable portfolio for every LCP or every MC. And it's not only stop in the raising other awareness. It's about like you can provide instead for raising other awareness. And the final one is okay. So it's a for a global perspective. Is there anything that we can learn as Isaac? Is there any values that we can provide? And I'll say that no matter when, like what timing in your turn, you keep discussing this three issues. Because that's not only like 24, 25 need to define. It's also like 25, 26, 26, 27. Like this is the positioning of I think in Taiwan society. So what we can do more, always think about this and also ask yourself, and discuss, no matter in entity or in the whole network or bring the LCP. Just start to initiate a discussion for this. And the final things I want to say that the 20 to 24, to be honest, for me, the direction is pretty clear. We want to go for the exchange. That's the only way for us to make LC survive. But for 24, 25, your direction is pretty unclear. But I don't mean like you don't know what you're doing. I mean like you have too many choice. You can start to resume GD, put 100% for GD resumption, or you still do slowly resumption for the GD program and to speed up the progress for GB, or you want to start to bring back the equal product because if not, we cannot happen again when some like a disaster really pretty similar to COVID to come again. So what's your choice? You will have a lot of things and you will find that you have a lot of choice. You can do whatever you want. So I would say that for 24, 25, your direction is unclear. So you need to put times to discuss this more, even more, like 100 times than 20 to 24. Okay. So quick recap, like this is the whole concept for these sessions, and also always always ask yourself what you want to leave for IC in your generations because people won't remember who you are. Like do you remember like 2014 like which team hosts IC? Like okay the OCB CCB event. How about OCB marketing?
Oh, sorry.
Who's that? Yes. So I don't mean like you need to make people know who you are. It's like what you did and what's the milestone for this generation, what's the highlight. So this is at the end of this session and a final reminder, the whole session just designed by you as an MCD, but you are still the head of your function. If you don't know the context or the flow or the history of your own function, you don't have a right to do it because you don't have a knowledge. Why people gonna follow the person who don't have a knowledge, right? So at least right now, you as MCD, you know like the context for every MC generations. So for your own study, what's your like history of your own functions? You need to study more. No matter you're gonna do consult or to read any report or function report, that's pretty fine. Just go for it. Okay, so that's the end. And sorry for the delay. So later on, just me gonna have the announcement for lunch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's the rest time for guys. Only 1 hour. So right now you can decide you are going to eat outside. That is the third way because we don't want rush in outside. You have food, okay? So you are not going outside.
I'm not.
Are you guys going to eat outside?
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh, I need to.
can you just personality test?
You need to wake up.
Yeah.
And your friend.
Right.
I'm pretty.
很漂亮。
真的漂亮。
还有白色，一下都很美。
Is there any food recommended? I'll go with
川渝
convenience store.
什么鱼？川鱼。哦，是那个吗？川菜辣面，太辣了，有不辣的，不辣的，有血，那个血吗？还是会不辣的？哦，我要去吃那个，很久没吃了。
Ah, you guys only have 1 hour, so you guys need to
What can we do
outside.
是606在我的120。那明天的，是我就没有现金，现帮给我走。
但是我
可是我也只有现金，我现金也是万多的。
那左正有啊，你可以先到左正。
然后那个后面。
那一块去看。Remember to give me the breakfast. Remind me.
I want to just.
Do you guys want to go outside with us? We are going to eat outside. What do you do? I don't know.
川鱼
Everything's expensive.
No, it's not. It's only 90 to 120.
Really? Where is it?
Nearby.
Really?
I won't go out. Usually you can go out and tell you the
You won't go out?
yes.
We are not going to eat here.
I know.
You are not going to eat.
You want to eat next week?
You wanna be done?
It's good. Ask just me. Like it's okay.
How can you eat ramen?
Please not.
Sensei is go is leave. So I close the meeting.
Okay.
Sensei is not in the meeting, right?
Need to check if Susan accept the report.
So
你比我想象中的专注。啊？你比我想象中的专注。
睡很好。